dices, no puedo creerlo, gasto Okay, I was doing something really quick. I guess that we could argue downside on this one. The fuck? There you go. Okay, so yeah, on this one, the reason I don't is because of all this choppy range. You could argue on whatever, you know. Uh, but we'll see. Okay. To be honest with you, I just don't like this. The fact that we chopped around this area, God, I hate that it just like it goes. The magnet just goes a little sideways, you know. It's kind of weird, but like it doesn't stay on, you know. Okay, so you could argue that this is the chop range. This is the chop range. So you could argue for downside right now. Okay, like if you don't count this stuff. So we're trading downside right now. Why does it look so like shit? Hmm. Okay. So if we want to count that, which means SPX as downside, since we don't count this as the chop, now that we see it a little bit more reasonable, this area that's downside. Okay, that is downside on this one, at least on this one. We have the breaker structure. Fucking 9 and 20, so that's the fuck. What happened? Okay, breaker structure at 9, 20. Okay. Until 950 close. That's the breaker structure. Then we can maybe argue this. Oh my god. I hate that it doesn't fucking save, bro. It's just fucking weird now. That's the only thing that I don't like. Okay, that it doesn't save. Now this, I don't think we want to count it, or that we can count it, but this we can. This is the OB, so let's count that OB over here. Okay, let's just assure ourselves this is downside. Okay, yes, that's one, that's two. Here, let's see. Yeah, you could argue same thing. Let's just count this as the chop, and that and that. That closed on downside. We can do this as well, which is yes, B and OB as well. Same exact thing. Just so weird though. This. Alright. Even if I don't count that, it still counts. So yeah. need to think about this for a sec. So what do we want here? I would guess we want the reaction. Like you want the reaction, like this side. Let's wait for a reaction. Okay, let's wait for a retrace and reaction. On this one at least. And this one as well. So you can have a decent entry. Okay. See, until now, stop loss level is that. Okay. I would consider that the OB. So let's see. That's a tap. Yes, we're gonna be counting that as well. That and the break of structure, of course. Even if you didn't want to count this, you can count this area right here, and this is 920. Okay, OB as well. Perfect, perfect. And the 15, of course, is downside. That's a tap. We're gonna wait for that reaction, at least a little lower, and then we can get into this. Hmm. That's pretty far away. Still over here. Yeah. Nope. It's laggy as fuck. I was surprised actually that it wasn't laggy before, but yeah, so this is downside, I would say. Some still downside. This right here, it's still OB. Like wherever you wanna see it. This is an OB. And this is the breaker structure lower because we broke up here. So this one we can go in no problem. There will be no disputes. Now the question is, should we go in here or where? Because maybe. Okay. This one right here. Let's see. 15. Still downside. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Yep. So I don't like this though. Although we do have the breaker structure, and we do have this if you really do want to count it, so we can theoretically also go in. Okay, this is sell, and this, oh shit, this was a sell as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait all the way there. I'm gonna place it here. We'll see, okay? I still need to get used to this. This, especially. To be honest with you, I want to trade like this. Way better. Let me see. Ah, fuck. Okay. I don't know. Seems like it wants to go a little upwards. This one's pretty close on this one too, so we'll see. Mm-hmm. That's weird. I could have sworn that my I don't know. That's weird. Still a little bit confused by everything, but yeah, I think I like trading more like this. So this I don't regret. This over here, I don't think I regret much. Break a structure. We have here the fair value gap that I want to recount instead of the OB on this one. Uh, that's pretty good. And over here, we entered off a reaction. Should have been here. Entered off this. Missed it. Okay, it was moving pretty fast, and there was no just quick sell. So yeah, yeah, I think it was pretty good. And this one over here, downside clear for me at least. 5 minute. We have OB, which is formed by this. Even if I put a little lower on this side, OB tapped, breaker structure for value gap over here as well. And then entered of this reaction, should have been here, entered at the bottom. Yes, not the best, but we'll see, bro. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. No events, by the way, except this, which there that wasn't there yesterday. So yeah, let's just say that I'm not understanding the margins over here. Okay, it's a little new to me, weird, but I don't know. This was a really bad entry, to be fully honest. Really, really bad. Because 2 is around this area. That's a pretty big move, bro. So, yeah. I need to break the chop first. So, yeah, I'll be keeping an eye as we know the system. But, yeah, on this one, we're reversing a little bit so that we push. See if we get something nice, okay? Let's see, okay? Seems like we are breaking pretty strong out of the chop. I'm gonna do this so I can switch faster between tabs. S&P and the Nasdaq. Let's see. Until we hit 2, and then we actually form a low or a high XX, and we'll see. Seems that price is pretty strong right now. Pretty, really strong, to be honest. Yeah, really strong price. I don't know, I don't like it that much. And I don't understand my risk still because, so I would honestly like to have an option, and I'm gonna research this for to tell me exactly what this is, X amount of a loss, and I want that. So I would like to see if there's an option on this broker to tell me the exact amount of loss that I would endure if X happens or whatever, but we'll see that later. See, we've made a high, so we've made a high. Let's see, you can take it a little bit more careful, if anything. But that would be fear talking, because I wouldn't want to lose those $70. Now, I will say, I don't know how to manage the risk on this account because it was saying that I was losing 70, and I wanted my max exposure to be 50. If that stops me out, it was just 0.5%, and it wasn't. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So that's the only thing that I don't like. Only thing that I don't like. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm moving my stop loss by the way. Over there, because I don't want the exposure to be that big, and also on this one as well. It seems like it went up reverse. That's why I move it like that, okay? I don't want to lose 70 bucks on this shit at all, so. Plus I'm counting that if any confluence is there, there's nothing else up, so. Yeah. If he moved past that, I'm just wrong, and I don't want to lose more money, so. Let's control risk right now, boys. We need to. It's a funded account. You need to take it carefully. So now it's saying a different risk. That's pretty weird, bro. It was saying one stop me out. Okay, how much was this loss? I don't know. We'll see later. This one now. Okay, it's gonna stop me out too. Okay. Yeah, fuck. Clearly, entry was wrong. Clearly. Bad entry timing. Okay. I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna show you what I did wrong. Okay. What I think I did wrong on this, which I clearly acted wrong on this. Okay, but yeah. It was supposed to be a small loss. We took a little bit of a bigger loss. Okay. But it doesn't matter. Okay. That should have been the play, by the way. I'm muted and I'm explaining myself. So the reason we fucked up was because we went in here and we should have went in here. And that's a big difference. Okay, that's 3.60, that's 360. So that's a big difference. It makes a big difference. Now we entered over here, and I think that I placed my stop around this level, about that. No, it was actually above this, right here. So that was a lot. It was entry here, stop loss here. By definition, should have been all the way here, that 2R. That was way too much, so I was asking a lot, and I knew that, so yeah, that was the problem, okay? Now, the reason for that was because I had never used the account. I can put excuses, whatever, but the reason is that I fucked up, and we need to get better at that. We need to get better at managing the loss. So I was confused. I guess that changing this size wouldn't be good enough. I think that if I just put this -50, for example, no, on the upside, so over here, so over to this side, so 50. So it would be there. So if I want my max risk to be 50, then that's the way to go. I can up it up from there. Like for example, if the thing is like putting here. Okay, so I don't need to move this. I need to move this. Okay. I need to understand that. I think that that's pretty good trading size. I would say so. Maybe like, but on the other side. So he, oh my God, here. So 50 on this side as well. So 0.5% of the account. Okay, so I need to understand that. So 0.23 on the SPX and 0.10 on, yeah, I think that's pretty decent size, I guess. And yeah, that should have been the way to go. If we did, this one would have been at break even, um, right at exiting. If we entered perfectly, let's say, imagine that it fills you in a little bit lower than that. It fills you in over to this side. You place your stop, let's say even to this, and 2R would have been that right there. You would have exited for a little loss, like one, like let's say in the range of $0 to $5. Okay, that would have been your loss. Now here as well. Mm, yeah. Why is there no magnet? I don't like that. Fuck. It doesn't matter. Let's do this. Okay. You place it right at the high right there because you assume sweeps or whatever. When I get a little room, you would do this and exit for a small loss as well. So small loss instead of a big loss. It wouldn't have been bad, but that candle right there, that move, if it would have been a little shorter, could have secured some profits, but that happens. Entry was really wrong. Let's just say that. Okay, entry was really wrong. And moving it, let's say a few points lower, even the stop loss was a 50 buck loss, almost on them. 40-40, okay? We don't want that. We want max loss to be 50 in this ones because we are not going to give it the chance of just losing 3 plays on each. We're going to give it to 6 plays on each. Hopefully that does not happen, of course, right? But yeah, that system works like this. And yes, that's the only thing, okay? think you can attribute this to miss entry, missed entry, missed timing, missed. I should have been at my desk at 9:15, watching the markets prior to this and just dealing with everything, and I was not. So we need to up the timing, I guess, guys. We need to be sitting down at 9:30 exactly, already with the conferences, already with everything, not at 9:34, not at 9:35, 5 minutes prior to everything. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It was our mistake on this one. It should have been a really, really small loss, meaning tight stop, okay? Tight stoppage, I'm sorry. Not that big of a stop. Not a $40 loss, but a 5 or $3 loss, most likely. And it did not happen, okay, because of our entry. So we need to dial that in for sure. Am I mad? No, I'm sour that that the schedule was so big. Yes, I am actually. I am, okay, but it doesn't matter. I would like to if you say that it doesn't bother me. It does. So I'm just gonna say it outright. Now that we understand a little bit more how this works, How this works? Yes, I would say that yeah, we would need to dial this in, bro, and just get used to this broker, to this platform, okay, to this type of stop loss, this type of everything. Now I should just place -50 as soon as I get in the trading session, and just keep looking at this, draft stop loss. If I'm looking at shorter longs, and just if anything, you can just pull it up a little bit. Like, okay, that's gonna be a little bit of a loss, a little bit of a bigger loss than anticipated, and we can just de-risk this and make it as close as 50 as possible, maybe. Yeah, and this is only on one, and then the other one will be exactly the same thing. Yeah, I think we can manage that. I think that the reason was it's my first trading day, really. Yesterday was another mistake that I didn't take a play, should have been a winner. Unfortunately, we did not take that, unfortunately. But yeah, tomorrow is gonna be a better day, a new day, blank start. This session was a little bit crazy. Let's just say that I counted all this as job at first. Uh, then I was like, well, I think this is a little bit of a stretch. I don't think this all can be counted as chop. And then all this. So what I did was realistically, this is the chop, right? All this area. Prior to this, I would say that this was not chop. Okay, this is not because we broke. This is a pretty clear candle. This is just a sideways action on this range. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say that this was the real range. This was not. So we gotta look at things objectively, okay? And we keep going down. It's just a little bit more painful to watch it, but here as well, we know I did. I counted all this as chop. In reality, this wasn't the chop. This was. I realized that when I was sitting down, just more comfortable, just breathing, that I was gonna miss out on trades just because of this. If anything, I wouldn't have taken the other ones, but yeah, I guess this is pretty good, bro. I guess this is pretty good. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Um, bummer that this happened. Bummer. Okay. It should have been a small loss, not a kind of a big one. Okay. Shouldn't have been 0.5 of each. Should have been around maybe 0.1% of the account. Not that much. So yeah, we'll just see. Okay, we'll see. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna end the stream. There's no reason for me to keep watching this and feel more pain in my little heart than I have to. So yeah, we just, yeah.